Hello, my fantastic 507 students. So this is a supplemental video with a little assignment to go along with it to help with the Toolkit assignment for Module 7. So at first this can be a little intimidating, at least it was for me, and this is a kind of a precursor to what we're going to be doing for our final assignment, so we want to make sure that we are getting off to a good start. So basically, I'm going to just again state that it can be in a written format or visual collection like an interest, whatever. Keep in mind that the final version needs to be in a written format, so perhaps, just perhaps, you may want to go ahead and just do it in a written format so that you can borrow from that and not have to try to pull the data from something else. But again, if you want to be creative and go nuts, go for it. Okay, just be aware that the final version does have to be in a written format. All right, so again, what does this assignment going to be all about? Well, basically we're going to assemble a writer's toolkit. Okay, well, what does that even mean? Well, for this assignment, we're going to identify 4 to 6 craft elements we're using in future writing. 4 to 6 craft elements. What are the craft elements again? So again, to find that, if I go to Module 1 and I scroll down to Reading the Resources, I scroll down here where there's this craft elements. So I've already loaded that up here. So here's craft elements. And there's a whole bunch of them here. So I'm going to figure out, okay, if I need 4 to 6 of these. So, but for right now, I'm just going to pick one. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick dialogue. Okay, I'd already kind of highlighted that. So dialogue, the spoken words exchanged between characters. That's the very basic definition. Okay, so let's say I'm saying, okay, so I have to pick 4 to 6 of these, but right now I'm just going to focus on one and practice with one. Okay, dialogue. Perfect. Okay, so now what am I going to do? Let's go back to the assignment. Okay, so I've identified one. Now I want to articulate how I might potentially use the craft element identified. So how am I going to use dialogue? Okay, so I have actually gone ahead and done that. And so this is kind of what I would say, dialogue, that's my craft element. Boom, I've identified that. And then this is me kind of just saying, why I think I would be, it's important, why I would use it. I think it's an excellent tool to help with character development. It's part of the exposition process. It's an important part of pacing, generally speeds up the pace. And good dialogue, reads actually someone's speaking, and it could differ from the voice or tone of the narrator, depending on who is speaking. So this is, again, for me, just a paragraph where, again, I am articulating how I might potentially use the craft element identified. So that's what I've done there, okay? And then the next thing is integrate examples of the craft elements into samples of your own writing. So what I'm going to do from there is that I've actually then, I've kind of hidden it down here. I'm going to scroll down. I took a sample from something I had written from before. It's actually from one of my books. And, or I could write a little something. It doesn't have to be very long, just a few lines or something like this that would give an example of this. So here is a section from my book, Wall of Faith. I'm just going to go ahead and read it. This is an example of dialogue. "Why do you want to kill yourself?" the bald man in front of me asked. "I don't." He pointed to the bandage on my arm. "Your actions this morning speak otherwise." His name was Dr. Prow. He was what they called a talking doctor. He had come to see me not long after I woke up in the hospital. If I wanted to kill myself, I'd be dead or trying again right now. So my answer is correct. Dr. Prow wrote something down on his notepad. What was it with doctors and their notepads? "Is being correct important to you?" he asked. "It's better than being wrong." "Because being wrong shows weakness?" I glowered at him. "Is this how you do your job? By asking leading questions?" I never said anything about weakness. He made more notes. "Let's talk about this morning," he said. "Okay. What did you have for breakfast?" I asked. He gave a little smile. "A bowl of cornflakes, a bran muffin, and a glass of prune juice. What about you?" I pointed to the IV in my arm. "Whatever this is, I think it's vanilla flavored." So you can do your own interpretation of, again, I basically have some, again, this is ripped out of the book in the middle, like, who are these characters and whatever this. But hopefully the concept is that you have basically a psychologist or psychiatrist, a talking doctor, as it were, talking with someone who would just supposedly try to kill themselves, and just the difference in tone that changes and how they're speaking. So I thought, okay, and it seems to flow pretty well. Anyway, so that was my example that I did. So again, not super long. I'm like, okay, boom, I've done that. So the optional assignment for this week, Module 7, is go ahead and just do this for one element, okay? And you can post it into the, if we go back to our thing here and we go to learning modules. Okay, actually what I will do is under discussions, I will have a optional thing under general questions that basically says, hey, go ahead and just post like one craft element with one, you know, way you would articulate this and an example of your writing, and just go ahead and post it here just to kind of practice. You can use that same thing in the overall toolkit, but if you want to just throw that out there to just to get feedback to make sure you kind of are on the right path. So that is the supplemental video to help with the toolkit, and I hope that was beneficial. So go ahead and let me just clarify again. Okay, so the optional assignment, you don't have to do this, is just because the whole thing you have to do 4 to 6 craft elements. The optional assignment is just do one for now. Just do one of these things, okay, and post it into the general discussion so that we can see if you want to, so we can give you feedback. If you're like, I got this, then go ahead and do all 4 to 6 and put it actually as the final, as the assignment that you would do through Module 7. So hope I'm clear on that. If not, please email me. All right, thanks and enjoy.